Hey y'all, Choice here. Thank you so very much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here I want to take a moment and talk about love. Not in intimacy and with another in that way, but love, it's like how do you maintain love when you see things going on around you that's not so loving. When you're dealing with folk that just don't want anything to do with you, but yeah, actually, and there are some that would really love to just do away with certain folk altogether. So, how do we maintain that loving spirit? It's our nature. It's our nature to be loving, to be kind and giving and forgiving and all of that stuff. And I won't say but. However, I will say we may have to forgive ourselves for indulging in the nonsense. Okay? We want to maintain love when people are not so loving, because it's important that our vibratory frequency stays high. So how can I put this? Oh, I got this tree here. Move over a little bit. No matter what goes on around you, no matter what you see, it's important to pull yourself back into a love state. It doesn't mean that you're all loving and all of that towards the individuals or individual who is doing said things. It just means that you are maintaining the frequency of love and appreciation, though you see or you are witnessing something that is hateful, something that is hateful or destructive or exploitive or anything you however you want to put it. We have to maintain that loving spirit, because this is what it's all about, maintaining a certain frequency, a vibrational frequency that lifts one up above the madness. When you ever hear someone says, when you go low, if you lay with dogs, you get fleas, or if you indulge in certain things, and sometimes, well, in order to do this, sometimes you have to see in them what they can't see in themselves. Even when their eyes are spewing hatred and animosity, somewhere you have to look beyond that. It doesn't mean that you're forgiving their nonsense, because remember, when you forgive, you take on the debt. When someone forgives the debt, they take on the debt. So if you're not taking care of that debt, then maybe your children or your children's children are going to be responsible for that debt. So at this, in a way, what we must do is find a way to love that which is within, knowing that it's expressing itself through a certain point of view. a particular, everyone is playing their part. Everyone is playing their part. And there are some roles that, and uh, archetypes and characteristics that are in place to test or to turn the best of us, to challenge the best of us, the goodness within. So somewhere, yeah, when people are doing certain things, we get angry, we get frustrated, we sometimes get to a point where we can't help but want to hate back. But know that it's not your nature to do so. You're being pushed and urged. You heard the saying, I will harden their hearts. I will harden their hearts. So you're dealing with a hardened heart that is playing its part. And your responsibility is, how do you stay calm in the midst of that and still maintain the spirit of love? There's something, let me just say this. When you tune into these various channels, and there I'm going there to talk about they, when you tune into some of these channels, let me see if when you tune into some of these channels, into some of these news or information that is put out, the picture that they paint, the picture that they project and they portray of the most loving people on the planet is just unbelievable. And they broadcast this stuff worldwide. When you have the original people who taught people how to pray and think, who taught people how to clean themselves and how to live responsibly, who went worldwide in many continents to share what has been handed down to them so that people might learn how to live with love and peace. But it seems that no matter, and even today, we still teach and we still instruct people on how to live and love in peace. Many don't really understand the power of certain type of people who manage to love in spite of all the atrocities. They still want to get along. They still want to love you, support you, take care of you. It's our nature. So I know I feel almost like I'm struggling for the right words to say, because loving is not always easy. That unconditional love is just not always even. But know that you're not trying to love the nature of certain kinds, but you want to love the essence that flow through it, knowing what it is, the trueness of what it is, playing through um, uh, flowing through a certain type, a certain kind. And I tell you, you can always tell the kind by the type of things that they do. You can tell the kind by the type of things that they do. Uh, so I'm not going to go really deep into that. I just want to do this quick word of letting you know that maintain the spirit of love, even in times when it's not so easy to do so, because it keeps your vibrational energy high. And when you keep it at that higher level, you're not you don't get entangled with certain kinds as much. It's like when your energy is high, it's like something going by at such a speed that you can't see it. So they no longer can see, or we cannot. They cannot see what's above their low vibing energy. So when you rise high in frequency and vibration, the lower vibration, no, the lower vibrational entities cannot see you. They will not exist in your space. You're free. Think in terms of something going by so quickly that just going by at such a speed that you miss it. But when you are vibing at a low vibrational frequency, or at a similar frequency, where it be high or low or mid, wherever it is, you then are in line with that frequency. So you can basically see the activities of certain types of people and kinds of people. But when you get your vibe up high, your vibration is high, what happens is they cannot exist on the realm or in the frequency band that you exist. So maintain the spirit of love, though you see stuff going on around you. Even if you are opposing it or whatever you're doing, back up and see it from a spiritual point of view, and realize that this entity is playing its part in the wholeness of everything. It's still a part of the whole. It's still a part of the of the energy, expressing itself through various entities and beings. Well, I say entities, but you get it, right? Those that don't behave like human beings. I prefer to call them entities. But anyway, all jokes aside, I'm going to move a little bit, but all jokes aside, acknowledge the true spirit within, but not necessarily the role they are playing, in order to maintain that loving spirit. And if you feel yourself slipping, that's where forgiveness comes in for yourself. And the overflow would be a blessing to those that are in your band, your frequency band, if you will. So much love, quick word, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me for another session of Choice Spirit. I know this was kind of choppy, but hey, maybe I'll make another video about this. Much love, namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit the subscribe, thumb up, share. Yes. So anyway, thank you so much. Choice here. Namaste.